From faraway lands, we arrived,
led by hope and fueled by the dreams we held close.
We left behind the comfort of the familiar,
bringing with us more than belongings. We brought determination, faith,
and the courage to start anew.
Every step forward was a brave stride into the unknown, navigating change, challenges, and a different way of life.
But in Darwin's welcoming arms, we discovered more than shelter.
We found belonging, possibility, and the chance to rebuild.
This is more than a journey, it's a transformation.
A testament to strength, perseverance, and the power of believing in a brighter future.
From Home to Darwin.
Hey guys, my name is Hriday. I'm 24 years old and I was raised in Lucknow. So I come from a place called Lucknow in India, which was rich of cultures, rich of spices, rich of food, and also rich of people. I was living in a house of a joint family of 10 people in there, which was something of a curious nature as to how we manage the lifestyle. One of the key features of my life down in India was, as a student, as a school person going to the school, I was trying to figure out where should I head towards. So I started my school journey with a commerce background where I was starting learning business, economics, accounting, and then also tried to figure out myself a journey through a lot of co-curricular activities done in the school, where I was the school head president, I was a school monitor, I was a class monitor, and whatnot. It's like a big list I was. But why was I doing this is because I needed to find a sense of purpose. I needed to find what am I going to achieve across in the future. And as I said, the life in India, and especially in Lucknow, was just rich. There was so much that I can do, but I was restricted with the family boundaries and cultures that I also need to follow. One of the key reasons why we as a family decided to move from India to Australia, as every parent wants, is shaping a positive future for the child. So one of the key reasons was my dad said, okay, we are now going to move to Australia because there is a fantastic lifestyle and cultures that you want to explore, and there's also a great scope of teaching that I want to do as part of my journey. As my dad was here quite before we guys joined in Australia, he figured out that Australia itself gives you a chance to be independent. So the parents, especially my parents, all parents especially, decided, done, let's do this, let's go to Australia because it gives you an independent nature, but also on the other hand gives you a scope of teaching that you really want to do as a future career. To be very honest, I was really crying because obviously when you leave a place where you were born, when you leave the place where you were actually raised, it gives you a sense of belonging. First fear that I had was, am I going to get that belonging back when I go to Australia? Or am I going to get that sense of social circle that I've created in India when I come to Australia? The other thing which was a bit scary was obviously leaving my grandparents behind, leaving my uncles and aunts behind. When I'll be able to go back and meet them after, or when I'll be able to actually look into, okay, can I go back and enjoy that life again? And the answer was no. So that was a bit of a fear which came with me. Other fears was that obviously you're leaving a country which has a lot of foundation in academics. Am I going to get that back here? Am I going to get all the friend circles, all the cultures, all the rituals that we do in India here? So there were all these fears that came with me when I came to Australia. So I actually cried. I started fighting with my parents. Why am I going to Australia? Why can't I just study here and start learning my profession more in India itself? And they said, no, this is where you're going to really be independent and go out and say, I'm a great teacher. So that's the main fears took me with me. So I migrated to Melbourne before, down for 4 years. One of the key challenges there was finding a good house. We lived in a shared apartment for 1 month. We tried to figure out our life there, as in how it is to be in a place which is brand new to us, which we are not aware of and which we are not familiar with. So our first challenge is obviously to find a suitable accommodation, suitable jobs, suitable positions. Now I actually left my high school down in India, so I had to redo my high school here, which was another challenge, where I need to learn a brand new concept of Christianity, as I was a part of a Catholic college. So at the end of the day, overall, the main challenges which I faced were finding a positive accommodation, finding a positive position for myself so that I can earn money, so that I can support the family. Also making a culture where I can make new friends, obviously figure out how I can perform those same cultures back and celebrate those festivals, celebrate that belonging that we always had in India. So those are the key challenges I had. There were a lot of people actually, so very important, I always express my gratitude was to my dad, because my dad really gave me an overall outlook of how this is going to be for you in Australia. There were other members as well, my mom, who sacrificed all her careers to make me rise what I am right now. And she was really towards me, started giving me that support system of you trying this brand new concept of a Christianity school, but not just a normal school down in India. She also gave me a fantastic opportunity and gave me that support of going out, making new friends, making a connection with people around you, especially neighbors, figuring out what are the best ways of getting into your networks that you can create in Australia. A lot of university friends I had down the line, which were a fantastic opportunity for me to figure out, okay, this is what I can do, as the friends guided me that procedure. So yeah, a lot of people. I'll talk about my life experience as a part of this answer to the question. Is when I came to Australia, I decided to first being myself. I started to find a purpose. I started to find a pathway which I would like to take as an international student towards my life. So in terms of my personality and in terms of my ways of dealing with the situations, it gave me a new perspective of looking into things. It gave me a new outlook on what other things can be considered. For example, figuring out a best way of studying, figuring out a best way of finding accommodation, figuring out a best way of finding a source of income, and figuring out a best way of finding belongingness. There are heaps of examples I was trying to look into. So personally and professionally, it started giving me an outlook where I need to put my efforts in and try to figure out the best possible way I can do as my education so that I can be a positive teacher down the line. Others, personally, there was a bit of challenges as well. I went through mental health issues because of the COVID-19 lockdowns, because I was not used to being introverts. I've been an extrovert since my childhood, and that was something that gave me a personal outlook change to my personality, because it was just challenging. And when I look into that lines now, it gives me that, yes, I got that change. I can now express everything to a brand new person with that confidence. With that serenity that yes, he will be able to understand what I'm coming from. And on the other hand, it gives me an opportunity that yes, this is how the life can be as part of this journey. So personally, I got more stronger, I got more confident, I got more independent, I got more extrovert, I should say, because now, as you can see, I've just been 24 years old and I've been making so many connections down in Australia, which nobody can imagine. Professionally wise, I've taken the steps towards my bachelor's. Now I'm going to start my PhD next year, which is an amazing opportunity for me to be a fantastic doctor teacher, which is not an unusual thing here, but an unusual thing in India. So you will see that changes across the lifestyle which I've been through the story. So yeah. As I migrated to Melbourne, we as a family decided to move to Darwin via road, which was a 10-day drive across 4,000 kilometers. So we were really able to figure out a variation in the cultures across 3 states straight away in Australia, which was great. So why I love Darwin? The answer to the question is in the question itself. Darwin is a place of community. And what was the fantastic things for us as a family was that we were able to find people whom we can make a belonging with. We were able to find opportunities where we can showcase our multiculturalism to people. For example, a festival of lights, a festival of colors, we had those opportunities to demonstrate that we had those opportunities to really enjoy that belongingness through those festivities. In other words, in overall addition, Darwin was a fantastic place for me because I love community, and community being a friendly place to live, that was a really great opportunity for me to grow. So we loved Darwin because of this. A lot of opportunities as well, where I started my education down in Bachelor's of a Secondary Education, now on my final stages. I started out looking into internships and obviously professional careers where I can go further and practice that theory that I'm learning. And I've started looking into making new connections, telling me what you can really be as part of this life in Darwin. So Darwin has been a very promising place for us. In terms of our education-wise, in terms of our employment-wise, in terms of our community-wise, as a lot of multicultural festivals go around in Darwin, as the community comes all together, it celebrates each other's differences. And last but not the least, it's just that Darwin is the place I would now like to say home, as it now gives me a sense of what I need and what I say is passion. And it just gives me a place where I can follow my passion, make new friends as I go, and being the best person possible in this world. When I was in year 12 down in Melbourne, we had a task of writing a letter to myself, and we wanted to talk about how are you feeling when it talks about Australia in general. One of my key words was, it's always challenges. When you come to life, when you think about your life itself, and when you come to down earth on life, you always see there's a place where challenges will hit you. It will hit you so hard that you'll be like, no, I can't do this, I'm absolutely off, and I can't manage these challenges. But there's one thing that I told myself is that you can do it. There was this can-do attitude which I had, which was so amazing to keep in myself, so that when I'm talking about this in future to someone or to myself or to my family, I can just say that there are these challenges who are shaping yourself and shaping the life that I want to be. So to myself and to everyone, there's just one line I want to say. If you know your passion, it's always the time to follow it. And for me, as myself, I just said, I got this passion of teaching, let's start teaching others. And I started teaching others across last year. And I was like, great, I got this passion now, and I'm going to now follow my steps to do it. And that's what I said to myself. And in that letter, which I'm referring to, down when I was in grade 12 in Melbourne. There are a lot of efforts that goes in when you're thinking about moving to a new country. My first thing that I'm going to say to a person who has never been thought about this is you are going to go out of a comfort zone, so prepare yourself. Mentally, professionally, and personally, and emotionally as well. Because when we think about moving to a brand new country, it's all about change of emotions. It's all about change of everything that you've done back home, now you're doing something else in the new world. So you have to prepare yourself mentally that yes, I can actually do this, and that's what I'm made of. That's what I'm actually consisting of, because passions and professionals are something coming together. Something else that I want to bring into people who have been to a new country is talking about making new friends. Doesn't matter, you're going to leave your old friends, young man. It's always about bringing a new sense of perspectives with you, because when you're going to a new country, any new country, you're just going to see perspectives living with you across your life in the new country. So making those new friends, making that community, making that sense of a belonging for yourself and your family and everyone around you is the best possible advice that I can give you, is because if you do this, I'm guaranteeing you, you're going to have your best life here, anywhere else where you go in the world.
Stay tuned right here on Enhance Down Under for more powerful and inspiring stories of migrants who dared to dream and found their new beginning in Darwin. From courageous journeys to life-changing moments, we shine a light on those who've built a brighter future for themselves and their families. Real people, real stories, real hope, only here on Enhance Down Under.